You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, on Alternative Talk, AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage and finance expert, Tina Mitchell.
Welcome back to The Money Hour with your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, right here at 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, July 1st show. I provide you news on everything money, fresh information on market trends and conditions in our local economy. If you're hearing my show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. You can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com to discuss anything regarding money, any topic suggestions that you have, or to talk with the guests that I have in studio today. Right now in studio, first time, Terry Carlson with Irlen Services Northwest. And if you're suffering from headaches, migraine, light sensitivity, struggle with reading, focused attention, or concentration, that may be linked to visual perceptual problems. And when I was preparing and looking at the information, I was really excited to have a conversation because I've never had somebody represent this field in studio before. And really the show is about money and how to have a better quality of life. And in order to make money, enjoy life, and have a better quality of life for you and your family, you want to be at your best health. And so just very excited. Thank you so much for coming into the studio, Terry.
Thank you for having me, Tina.
And a little bit about Terry. Terry is trained as an Irlen Screener in 2008 and an Irlen Diagnostician in 2011. She also has a master's in special education endorsement and reading. Terry has been teaching in the public school system for over 20 years in the secondary special education literacy programs. She was introduced to the Irlen overlays when she was searching for specific interventions when students' progress stalled. Terry knew that something was interfering with their progress, reading comprehension, and was challenged. So she was given a set of overlays for the literacy coach, placed them on a text that students were reading, and they immediately reported, "The words don't move anymore, and I can see the words clearly now." They then advanced quickly once this barrier was removed, and in some cases, some students promoted out of the special education. This was when Terry realized that she knew this was a piece of the puzzle that was missing for some students, and she elected to be trained as an Irlen Screener. So what exactly, can you explain your business a little bit to my listeners?
Yes. The name of my business is Irlen Services Northwest. And what it is I identify clients who suffer from visual stress and have perceptual difficulties. And this has to do with light sensitivity and the brain's inability to process certain wavelengths of light. And what that does is it can cause a person to have headaches. Their depth perception is off. Driving is difficult. Some people that suffer from this tend to wait and wait and wait until they get into traffic because they can't tell where a car is coming at them. A lot of people, like I said, suffer from headaches, fatigue. And if we're talking about people in the business world, transferring from the school into the business world, those people that come to me are suffering from fatigue. I mean, as soon as they are on the computer, after about 5 or 10 minutes, they find themselves really exhausted and aren't sure why, and then realize that it is the lights and want to know what they can do about that besides taking a pill to make the headache go away.
Sure. So Terry, a little background about yourself and a little more on your business.
Okay. So I have been teaching in public school system for 20 years and discovered this through the reading program that I was teaching. And many of the students weren't progressing. They stalled. And so I was able to obtain the overlays that helped the print remain stable. Many of them weren't aware that the print was actually moving because this is an inherited issue. They have always seen the page move or jump, the words jump or spin, and it makes them dizzy, nauseous, get headaches, stop reading. And once those overlays are placed on the page, those distortions are stopped. And so from there, I became a screener and identified those issues for other people, and then became an Irlen Diagnostician. And the difference between the two is that I customize spectral filters for people so that their environment stops moving, because most of the time, if they have reading issues on the page, the environment is also moving and changing and warped. The floors can be warped and the carpets can be lifting off the floor.
Wow. So it's Irlen syndrome.
Yes.
Okay. So, and that is, we were talking earlier, and it's a pretty high percentage of people that have this.
Right. It's the 12 to 15% of the people have this. They just aren't aware of it because they were born with this, and
They don't know any
their
different.
brain, right. So their
Yeah.
brain is processing the visual information that they see this way.
So what about the testing for Irlen testing? What does that look like?
So the screening process is a person will come into my office and they will look at a variety of pictures. And what I do is I create the environment they're in most of the time, 50% or more of the time. And most of the time people, especially in the work field or at school, have the fluorescents on all the way. They're turned up all the way. So what that does is that accentuates the issues that they're seeing on the page. And the screening process is mostly creating awareness and what is happening on the page. And when you ask them what's happening to the word and they look at the word and focus on it, it can be moving, or the words could be shifting, or some of the letters are darker than others. And then they start seeing colors on the page, blotches, or the words grouped together, or there's rivers running down the page. So a lot of it's creating awareness for people of what actually is happening. Then when we put the color overlays down and they select what colors work best for them, and as soon as we get the right combination of colors, all of those distortions go away.
Wow. So it's it seems that it can be an easy solution and a fix. As we were talking earlier, it never goes away. But instead of having to take medication, you can actually have an easier solution for that.
Right.
So other symptoms that we've talked about, having headaches and migraines and sensitivity to light, issues that they may not even realize because, as you stated, they don't even know it's any different because it's always been like that. What other symptoms are there that are an indicator that they might have this syndrome?
Well, if they realize that they're looking at as soon as they have a piece of paper in front of them, and the high contrast that we have today is black print on white paper, and their eyes start watering, or they just notice that behind their eyes it's hurting, their neck hurts. Once your brain is under stress, it can affect your whole system.
Yeah.
And so some people get stomach aches, they get nauseous. They can actually, I've had clients actually tell me that they throw up when they start reading.
Wow.
Their whole system changes and adjusts. Yeah.
So with the Irlen Method, how does that help with the reading difficulties?
So what it does is it allows the print to be clear and stable. Now, a lot of times people think it's a visual issue, and one of the symptoms of Irlen is blurriness. So I have people come in with glasses that really don't work. So they go and get a pair of glasses, and then they end up not wearing them most of the time because that's not really what they need. And so what happens to the print is as soon as the overlays are down on the page, the brain is able to process through those overlays, and the print remains stable. So they're able to read.
So what about other areas that it helps in life?
So some of the other areas would be even people that have difficulty going up and down escalators. There are some people that on purpose will choose the elevator because they can't see the stairs moving and when to step on and when
That could
not,
be dangerous.
not to step. Yes,
Yes.
definitely. Some of them are like they count stairs when they go up and down the stairs. They blend together. There's some hotels that I've been in recently that the way they lay the carpet is it's in a lot of squares, and each edge of the step lines up with the next one, the way the carpet is placed. And there's some, these people can't tell when the stairs starts and stops.
Wow.
Music, people that read musical notes, a lot of them play by ear because they can't read the notes. The notes are moving, they don't stay stable. People that are in sports, they can't catch the ball. They miss the ball all the time because they lose it in the air, and they're grabbing for it and it lands to the left or to the right of them.
Interesting.
I've had some students that used to play volleyball when I taught middle school, and as soon as they look up into the lights in the ceiling, they would lose the ball. And so they were really having difficulty. Of course, the coach was, trying to figure out what was going on with them.
Sure. So how does the Irlen Method support those that are in the school environment and work environment?
So the Irlen Method, the overlays are meant for the page and or the computer. Now, the filters, that when we customize for a person's brain is for the whole environment. And in the workplace, of course, we're flooded with fluorescent lights. And I've heard people discuss like when they go to a meeting, and you go into the room, and there's white tables and white chairs, and you've got a light right over the top of your head, and somebody's working on the screen, and so you've got all of those. Your brain is just flooded with light, and so they're unable to focus and concentrate. So they get fidgety. Sometimes they get angry. They get exhausted. So there's all kinds of physical symptoms that they have, and so the productivity goes way down.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
So injuries, with head injuries, how does the Irlen Method support head injuries?
So with head injuries, what a person changes dramatically. They have a baseline before they obtain their head injury, and a lot of times they want to get back to that baseline. The people that I work with head injuries, it's a little bit at a time. So if I can support some of the minimizing of the headaches, of the dizziness that they have, of the distortions that they have by 10 or 20%, that's a major milestone for them.
Yeah.
A lot of them, the ones that I see, tend not to go out a lot. So they're not productive. They can't hold down a job. They don't go shopping because of the lights in the stores. And they, once we fit them with filters, they're able to go out and in some cases, obtain work again. We've done a pilot program with the military down in Camp Pendleton down in California with the Marines, and fitted 178 Marines with filters, and a major majority of them, I'd say like 90% plus, alleviated their headaches when medication didn't work for them anymore.
Yeah, that's amazing, Terry.
Yeah.
So as we're wrapping up our time together, I have one more question. How can a person become aware that what they're experiencing is not normal and advocate for a solution avoiding possible issues?
Okay. So what parents can do for their kids is kind of pay attention to what happens when they are doing their homework.
Okay.
Are they avoiding their homework? When you watch them read, are they blinking a lot? Are they getting up and down a lot, taking a lot of breaks, not able to get their homework done in a reasonable amount of time, which you would think a half an hour to 45 minutes would be good, but some kids are spending 3 or 4 hours on that. If you notice a lot of time at work that you're fatigued early, you get lots of those headaches and those other symptoms that I discussed, I would recommend going to our website, which is irlen.com.
Okay.
And there's 7 or 8 different self-tests on there that have to do with headaches and have to do with school and have to do with workplace. And you can take a self-test and see if any of those symptoms are yours. And then at the top of the screen, there are some little black glasses at the top, and each one, you touch on each one, the screen turns a different color. And I've had people call me as soon as they hit the right color, like a green. The screen turns green.
Wow.
They could feel their whole body relax.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's the best way, is to go to the website.
Yeah. And, because I'm just listening to you here and just imagining, there's probably a lot of people that are misdiagnosed, and, it sounds like there's a simple solution to fix this issue. And so, if there's more questions and you want to connect with Terry, please call into the show. And Terry, thank you for coming in and sharing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
This is your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, signing off for the day and wishing you a happy 4th of July. Ralph Waldo Emerson stated, American means opportunity, freedom, and power. Enjoy your holiday, and I look forward to talking with you more about money next Saturday, same place, same time, right here on 1150 AM KKNW.